Hello everyone, in this video we're going to look at the secure network traffic for Azure infrastructure. In this series of videos we're really working on several labs that comes under the AZ900 or the Microsoft Azure Fundamentals certification exam. In the last 11 videos we have completed all of these labs, and as I said, in this video we're going to look at securing network traffic. So let's get to the lab and let's just review what we're going to do in this lab. In this lab, we're going to create a virtual machine, and once the virtual machine is done, we're going to create a network security group that is very important to secure your network traffic. And on that network security group, we're going to configure inbound security port rule to allow RDP. Okay, and then we're going to configure an outbound security port rule to deny internet access. Now by default, just remember that all virtual machines, they will have access to the internet. So if you do this task, you're actually making your system more secure. Alright, so that would be the end of that lab. So let's get started with our adventure. Alright, so let's create a virtual machine. So we'll go to the Azure portal, and we're going to use a portal to create the machine. So let's go. So this is my Azure portal. Let's say I'm not going to use the shell, so let's get it down. I'm just going to take a quick look at my resource group before we start. My RGPS, I don't need this resource group, so I'm going to delete this one real quick. And while it's getting deleted, we will start working. Okay, so that's all looks good. So go back to the lab. So what we need to create a virtual machine. So you can just search for copy that virtual machine, paste it over here. Do not select classic, just go for the regular virtual machine and click add, and it will give you an option to configure. So use your own subscription. We're going to create a new resource group the way the lab wants us to do, my RG secure. And then let's see, the name of the virtual machine will be simple win VM. East US, so here you have West US selected, so let's click on that one and let's find our East US. That's my favorite place to deploy anyway. So then come here, Windows Server 2019 data center, and you can click that image drop down list and it should have your Windows 19 2000 data center right there. And once you're gonna choose D2SV3, I think that's automatically the D2SV3 selected, nothing to do here. And we need the username and password, so let's get the username and let's get the password as well. Alright, so put it and then confirm the password. And inbound port rules, none. So this is by default, it allows selected ports and RDP is selected, but we don't want that. We want to allow no inbound ports at all. Okay, then go to disk. We're going to take the default, go to networking, and under networking, network security group, we're not going to create any. Okay, so here network security group, usually it creates a basic NIC for you. NIC for you, network security group, NSG for you. But we're gonna say no, don't do that. But look, all portions of virtual machine may be exposed to the public internet if you don't have any. Okay, so that's important. So understand what you are doing here. And then what we're gonna do, boot diagnostics, we don't need that, so I'm gonna turn it off. That would be under management most likely. Here, boot diagnostic, it's usually on, we don't need that, we're gonna turn it off. And we're gonna do review and create to create the virtual machine, so let's do that. It's gonna go through some validation, and as soon as it's done, I'm gonna click on create to create the virtual machine. Okay, so we're done up to this point. So we're gonna monitor the deployment, and we can also look at the notification area. And once it's done, we're going to go to the virtual machine and look at the networking to review the network port rules. So let's see what's going on. So you see that in this pane, you see the deployment status or details, and you can also see the same information over here by clicking on the notification bar. So this is what is going on, where the deployment is in progress, and at the beginning of the lab we actually deleted this group, so that's also going on at the same time. Okay, so it usually takes just a couple minutes. I'm gonna pause the video. As soon as it's done, we'll restart. Alright, we are back and this deployment is now done. You can click this button right over here to go to the resource, or you can click over here to go to the resource as well. So let's click over here, and it's gonna go directly to the simple WinVM that we deployed, and usually it gives you the overview blade, and it's gonna show that status is running. Here's the IP address and all the information that you need. Is the 2019 data center. Okay, so we are good with the deployment. All of that is done. And let's look at the networking inbound rules. So for that, you just go under setting, go to networking, and the networking, for the first thing you say, it should say the network interface does not contain any network security groups, because we have not created any. So what are the network keyboard port rule? There is nothing. What's network outbound port rule? There is nothing. And application security and load balancing is something else that we will probably cover in a future video. But these two items, if you have a network security group enabled, you will automatically see some stuff. So we don't have anything at the moment, so your machine could be completely exposed to the internet. All right, let's see what's we're gonna do next. So to make our virtual machine more secure, what we want to do. Okay, before we do that, let's try one more thing. So let's get which is not written in your lab, but what we did not expose any port, any particular port, right? So I'm going to use one of the RDP client, and I'm going to try to get to the machine. So see, and I have this port open. So although we have not specifically said that open up this port for me, I can get to this machine. So that's what I'm telling you, that if you do not have a network security group, your virtual machine, every single port 0 to 65, whatever 1000 ports that are available, all of them are completely open to the internet. So your machine is very, very insecure at this time. So let's try to even get in and just verify. We can also log into the machine. So let's go back here. I think we used Azure user as a username. And let's get the password as well. And that's the password that we used. So right there, and just to prove that we can log in, and it's connecting to that particular virtual machine. It's a Windows 2019 data center, and there we go. All right, so I have proven you that if you don't have any network security group, your machine is very, 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 very insecure. Let's do one other quick test. If I try to do a ping to that particular virtual machine, let's get that IP address one more time. I just want to see if the ping is also, if we can ping that machine or not. Okay, let's see over here. That's the password. Just put the ping, the IP address. At least the ping is at least not enabled. So that's actually a virtual Windows deployment scenario where Windows virtual machine, when we deploy, they don't allow ping. But that doesn't mean that your system is secure. Okay, so we know that it's still very, very insecure. So to make that your machine secure, we gotta create a network security group and only allow this port and nothing else, like 3389 and nothing else. So let's go back to the lab. So let's create a network security group. Again, to do that, go get the network security group, search for it, okay, and hit enter. A classic, as I said, do not use it, use the regular one, and click add, and choose your subscription, put in the same resource group. So let's drop, and this is the same resource group. We are going to create this network security group. And what is the name they're asking us to do? Is this the name? So let's put it in there, and East US is good All right, so now we're going to just create, and then we'll go to the resource, and we're going to associate this network interface of virtual machine with this particular network security group. Okay, so let's do that. Let's review and create. So it's creating. The validation has passed, so we can create now this resource, which is the network security group. This is now, it just takes probably 15 seconds maybe to create this resource. Like, it's done. So just go to the resource, and you have now available to the inbound and outbound rules that are default, and these rules you cannot even delete. Okay, they're always there and associated with your network security groups. Okay, but what it is, there are no network interfaces associated with this network interface group, not even any subnet. So you can either associate a subnet or a network interface. So in this lab, they're saying associate the network interface. So we'll just go and grab the network interface for the simple VM that we created, and it's going to associate the network interface with this network security group. That means now this network security group inbound and outbound security rules is going to control who can connect to this virtual machine using what port. Okay, so now if you look at it, I still do not have the port 3389 open anymore. Now this may take like few minutes to get this done. So for example, let's give you an example. So let's get out of this, and let's try to get to that computer one more time, and you probably you can still go for the next 2-3 minutes, because the network security group takes a little bit of time to update all the rules and everything. So, and I'll show you. Maybe not, maybe, well, I mean, usually it does, but maybe we have already passed that time. So now you're trying to get to the virtual machine, you're not getting any windows back. So that means in the rule, the network security group it's failed. So that's good. So our network security group is now working, and since we have not opened explicitly RDP port 3389, we can no longer connect to the machine. As a matter of fact, there are no ports that are open at the moment. You can't get to the machine from outside at all. So now your machine is very, very secure, but you cannot get to it, right? So let's see what we can do. So now this is what you need to configure so that you can get to the machine over the RDP. So what they're saying, to connect and download the RDP file, and well, we'll just do this. We'll just create the network inbound security rule. So let's go back to the machine, and you can also click on the networking and go to the network security group and click on this to get back to the network security group. And so you can apply the inbound rule to the network interface, or you can apply at the network security group level. Since I'm using the network security group as the overarching security boundary, so I'm going to assign it right over here. So I'm going to go to the inbound security rule, add an inbound rule, and source port any destination. I can put the IP address of the virtual machine. It needs to be the private IP address. Let's see what they're doing. Destination, they are actually saying just configure to any. So just for this lab, I'm just gonna use any for now. But to be more specific, you can use any. Sorry, they're saying any, and destination port 3389. It's a TCP protocol. We're gonna allow, and let's see what kind of priority they're asking. 300, and this is the name that we're gonna use. So priority is 300, and name is allow RDP. Okay, so this rule is actually going to be applicable to any machine that any Windows machine that we deploy in this particular subnet. Well, we have not associated the subnet, so we'll probably still have to add those other virtual network interfaces over here to this network security group. But so this rule is going to allow the connection, the RDP connection. So then just say add, and the rule is now added. So it says allow RDP connection, and again, as I said, this rule sometimes take a little bit of time. So let's see if you can connect right now. You see you cannot, because this rule, it takes some time. Okay, so let's go back, verify that we have the virtual machine IP is correct. Go back to our VM overview. I'm gonna copy this one more time, and it's failed, so let's close, go back, put it again, try to get to it again. So it's see that it's still not connecting, so it's still taking some time, and we'll try to connect a couple more times, and I bet you that you will be able to connect in like 2 minutes or so. All right, so I'm gonna try again. Now you can connect. So that's a little bit of lag. So if you're like just changed and then you are trying to connect and you're going like crazy, oh my god, what's going on, it's not working, its port is not open, calm down, give it a couple minutes, because that's what it takes Azure to configure and route all the traffic and understand what you have just done. Okay, now if you provide your username and password, you will be able to get to that machine. So now your machine is actually way more secure than not having an NSG, because you're only allowing this particular port through which you can get to the machine. All right, so let's come back over here. So we have done this, configure an outbound security port rule to deny internet access. So let's actually get into the machine, okay? Because I want to show some more stuff. So let's, since we have this, because we want to make our machine even more secure, I want to show you that by default your internet access is allowed from the virtual machine. So we are here. So first I'm just gonna open up PowerShell. Let's see, come on, my PowerShell. Okay, this is the PowerShell, and let's see if I can ping Google. I may or I may not. I do. So that means it's telling me that my connection to internet is available. And let's see, open up a browser window, and let's see, so use recommended security privacy, don't use. Let me see what they're saying. Continue in the RDP center where we are. We opened up the internet, verify that you can access. So it's just I guess I'm just gonna use the recommended security setting, and then let's see if I can access Microsoft.com, and click on it, and it says my content is blocked, but I can add that certificate and close. Add this website to this zone. Okay, there are a whole bunch of content that here is blocking anytime there's a new type of like so you have internet access, but you have a very high security right now, so we should have configured the internet security a little bit differently. So let's close, add, close, add, close, add, close. Now you have it. So let's see if you can go to google.com. Yes, okay, same deal. So you probably have to play with the internet security. You have configured your internet security very high, so anytime it's going to go anywhere else, it's giving you this pop-up. Okay, just making sure that hey, do you wanna go there, do you wanna go there. So actually, where is the security for internet options maybe, and security maybe, and what we are doing is medium maybe for now, move it to medium low. Okay, and then let's see. Oh, I cannot. I could have just. This window is not big enough for me to change this. So let's. So I guess my point is you can go to the machine and you just have to change the setting. Like yeah, so you can now search, say Azure, and it should return search results, right? So you know that you have internet access. So in this lab, what we are going to do, we are going to create an outbound security rule to deny internet access. And how do you want to do that? So we're going to go to the networking again, and we have a rule, allow internet outbound. This is a default rule and cannot be removed, and I have already told you that, right? So let's go back to our virtual machine, go to networking, and go to our NSG and outbound security rule, and this is what they're talking about, allow internet outbound. That means all connection to the internet, and you can see any internet is allowed. So we don't want that, we want to fix it. So we're going to add an outbound port rule over here. So we are already in the outbound security rules. We're going to add that, and we're going to say any star. Now service tag, we're going to select internet. Okay, so come over here, any source tag from destination, we're going to use service tag. What we're going to block is the internet access, so internet. And destination port ranges, any destination port we're gonna block. Destination and protocol, I guess any should also work. Destination protocol TCP action is deny, priority 4000. Action is deny, priority 4000. And what is the name of it? Deny internet. Okay, so if I add this rule right in here, it's going to deny all internet access from within this machine. Let's see, so let's add, and again it may take again a couple minutes to take that rule in effect, but what you have done right now, you have blocked outbound internet connections. If I now go back to the machine and try to go to Google, I should not, but again, as I said, it takes a couple minutes. So if you go back, you may still have access. So let's see Azure portal. So you are getting results, right? So keep doing it for a couple minutes, and you will see in few minutes you will not be able to do that. So let's see how long it takes. It's 406 as per this VM, and I still have access even though I created my deny rule. So still have access, JavaScript, still have access, still 406. Let's see, custom properties, still have access, still 406. Application inside logging, still have access. Let's see, custom dimensions. Man, it's been at least 30 seconds for sure. This rule didn't take any effect. So let's try telemetry, still have access. Man, I feel like the minute is not even going. It feels like minute has stopped for us. I would like to give it at least 2 minutes. So maybe I'll just pause the video and come back and then do this exercise and make sure and prove to you that you do not have any internet access. Okay, it's 407 for the last time. I'm going to do it one more demo. It's still I have access. So let's give it one more time, 1 more minute to take that rule to take effect, and we'll come back, prove that your system is very secure and you do not have any more access, and at that time we're gonna stop the video. Alright, I'm still here and trying to see if that deny internet is in effect or not. So let's try one more time. Test, just search for something, and I can still get to it, and it's been 3 minutes, so that seems a little fishy. So I'm not sure if you need re-login back to the machine to get this take into effect. So just to make sure, we'll just gonna get out of this virtual machine, and we're gonna re-log into this one, and just to verify, and if it still have access, we'll go back to the rule and see if we have configured it properly. Okay, so but let's get the username and password one more time, because I want to give you the full experience. Like if you're doing it by yourself, I don't want to go crazy and think that you're doing something wrong, because you have not. You have done everything properly. All right. Okay, so let's log back in one more time. RDP port is open, so we should be able to go there. It's 10, so at least 4 minutes has passed. So this is my Google do test. I have access, so this is very weird. So let's go back in here and take a look at what it's doing. So this is the outbound security rule. That's what we wanted. Okay, so it's 4000. That looks good. It's saying from any port. That's the mistake that we made. All right, so we made a mistake. Destination port needs to be any. All right. So no, we did not make our outbound rule properly. So, okay, so now let's fix it. Now anywhere any web server is running, now you are blocking your connection. So that was actually a pretty interesting troubleshooting exercise for you. So you know that if something does not work, you need to go back and take a look at your deny rules. So now let's get back inside your virtual machine, and let's try to go over here. Let's try to go to the internet. Now let's give it 2 more minutes, and I would think that you will not be able to access it in a couple minutes from now. So let me pause the video one more time, and this time it looks all good. Any to internet is denied. All right, now it's been a couple minutes, so now I'm in here and I'm trying to search the Google over here, and as you can see now, it is not going anywhere. It's just keep trying to connect to the internet, and since we have blocked all kinds of internet access, it cannot reach this page. So now you have a very secure internet access virtual machine where you have only enabled one port that you can get in, but even within the port you do not have any internet access. You can still connect to other virtual machine within Azure, but you have no internet connection whatsoever. All right, that's the end of this lab. If you like it, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, leave your comments, and if you're preparing for the easy 900 fundamental exam, good luck.